Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Hello, welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome. Okay, my hair is... yeah, whatever. Yeah, my hair is not great. That's always the start of my stream, right? Me complaining about my hair. That's fine. Hey Lou, how you doing? Hello, hello. So, welcome to the stream. So as you might have noticed, the music volume is a bit quieter, and so am I. Because like, yeah, I've been noticing like when I watch my VODs that I scream a lot. Oh, I talk really loud, and I don't know if I like that. I want to be like a bit more like quiet in general, and also like I noticed that I always talk too loud because the music is too loud, so I can't hear myself. So my music, I hear it too loud here, and I can't hear myself when I talk. So that's why I talk really loud on stream. But that's why I lowered the volume for the music a little bit, and yeah, so that allows me to talk a little quieter. And also I changed the EQ for my mic, so I had it really like with a really like the low end of my mic was really cranked up. So, and like this is not like my room, this is my living room. I have my PC set up right here, and like there's not a lot of acoustic stuff. So yeah, I have like a lot of echo here, and that's not great. I don't really like that, but that's what I have right now until I move into a new place. But yeah, the low so in the EQ I was setting the low frequencies to be really like loud, or yeah, I basically set the value to be higher on the low frequencies, and I think the echo was much more like noticeable when I was, well, first of all, I was talking a lot louder, but also the low end had like a lot of the echo. So right now I have like a different EQ. I will just test this and see how it does. So for that I will really quick check my volume on Twitch, so you will hear double. I do this every time, so you will hear double. I do this every time, so you will... Yeah, I think that's perfect. So now it's much more balanced, the EQ on my mic. So I don't have like a lot of mids, and the low frequencies I turned down a lot. So yeah, I think that's much better. I will just check the VOD when I finish the stream, but for now I think that the music volume is really nice like this. Maybe it's too low, but I think that's fine for now. I will be checking that as we go. But yeah, also let me show you something really quick. Okay, first of all, I have a button for muting my mic. Now you can hear me now, okay. I also have a button for muting my camera. Okay, you can hear me now, okay. Okay, sorry, I don't think you were able to hear me there, but I don't know for how long I was muted, but wait. You can hear me now. So what I was saying is basically you can see chat now and you can see me in the BRB scene. Like I said this because, for example, yeah, I see when I disable the camera, the mic is also muted, so I have to fix that. But for now, when I enable the camera, so when I'm in the BRB scene, I took a break, anything. If you're playing, I can come here, and if I see the chat and I see that you guys are playing this mini game or anything, I can just enable my camera and just chill here and just watch you play. And that's great. So yeah, that's basically it. And yeah, back to the main scene. We're good to go. So that's great. That's some good news. I also have like a new cyclone title, which is basically for typing exclamation Neptosmic to get the link to go to my official site, which is not updated. It's like pretty out of date right now. So yeah, I have to update it. I can show you. So if I type there, you can get the link, and I can open the link, and you can see here. This is my website, but this is really out of date. Really out of date. I need to update this to have the new branding and the new visuals and the new style, everything. But basically you get here like my social links, which are also outdated. I would add like Blue Sky here and maybe Reddit. And here you can see my games, for example, Voyager. This is also really out of date. You can see this GIF. It has the old astronaut sprite. And this has the old Starfield system, so yeah. Also, the icons here are like obscuring the... what's the name? The description here. So yeah, I have to update this. I will be doing that with my friend that knows about web development. Like I can get through some stuff like by using ChatGPT, but that's it. I don't really know much about web development. It's basically the front end, because like I won't be like uploading stuff to the page or like having a database of anything. It's just like a a front end with a little description about about Neptosmic, my studio, about me, and I would have like sections for my games, a little section showing the stream, I guess, and some links for the Discord and my socials, and yeah, all that's kind of stuff. I think that's pretty much it. So yeah. Okay, so back to working on Voyager. So you can see here I don't have any current task. I have this though, which is in my backlog. So I have these tasks. So we are continuing with the constellation system. I don't know if I showed this, but I basically added like a bunch of lists of like each thing that needs to be like worked on. So for example, the astronaut has some stuff I have to work on, planet, starfield, and those, all of the things that are already there as tasks. You can see like there are tasks on every list. Some lists have multiple tasks, but basically all of the tasks that are already here are things that I have like from a while back when I was working on this, but yeah, I have like a lot of stuff here in the ideas section. Like there's a lot of things here that I would basically analyze and like develop a little further before like integrating those things into the game. So yeah, basically all of this are ideas I have for each thing in the game too. Content, I have like a ton of things here that I would like to revise and to look a little bit further into, but that's for later. Right now what I have defined is basically the core gameplay and like the core sections of the game, and I want to work on that and finish defining all of that and implementing that, at least like a functional basic version in the game. So that's basically prototyping. So I want to finish prototyping the starfield, like traveling to a new constellation, which is almost done. Well, functionality, like the functionality, I need to finish one thing, which we might be doing today, and then I have like I have to work on the planetary system mechanics, which I didn't define completely yet how the mechanics will be for that. And what else? So yeah, I think that's it. Oh yeah, and then like the on-planet gameplay. That's another section of the game, which is basically the main section where you will be spending the more time in. I think that's the idea. So let's take a look at this. This is basically my these are my tasks for today. I don't know if I will be completing all of this today, and a couple of these are just like aesthetic things, like they are not functional like this task. So let's just read through this. Determine how the player is set to one of the stars in the constellation and travel there. Okay, so let me show you what happens now when you travel into a new constellation. Okay, so imagine this. You are in your starship in space, in the planetary system, in like a random planetary system, whatever. You're in space in your starship, okay? Then you enter, like, you will have the option to enter the planetary system terminal, okay? Well, it will be the constellation terminal or something like that. The navigation terminal, it could be, because it's basically to navigate, to travel to other places. So you imagine that. So you're in the starship, you enter the navigation or traveling terminal, whatever, and you input a coordinate for a new constellation, okay? And then you hit travel, okay? You hit travel, and what happens next is basically you get into this scene, which right now you don't see anything, but this animation will start playing, okay? You will start traveling into that constellation, okay? So this is the idea. Okay, you travel, okay? And you get here. Okay, that took like too long, I think. That was a bit weird, but that's fine. Okay, so you get here, you travel into this constellation, okay? You're here now. So what happens now? My idea is that you would be sent into a random star of this constellation, okay? That's the idea. And why is that? Because like when you are in a constellation and you want to go into the next star, so when you're inside one star, okay, the only thing you can do in that star, like the only places you can go from there is inside that star. You can go into the planets, like to any of the planets inside of the star, but from this star you can go to the stars that are directly connected in the constellation. So that would be this one or this one. So you can see like this one has two direct connections, okay? So that's all you can do. You can go here or here, or if you have the coordinates for another constellation, you can go into a new constellation, but we're talking about this. So like that's the limiting factor of where you can go to and all of that. So first I thought about like letting you decide which star you wanted to go to when you go into a new constellation, okay? So that would mean that when we get here, okay, so let's do this again really quick. So we go into a new constellation, okay? We're traveling there, okay? This is the animation, like a cinematic animation, okay? That's amazing, blah blah blah. Okay, perfect. We get into the new constellation, okay? And here, like before, the system I had before, this is really slow. I have to basically accelerate that a little bit. But basically here you will be able to select which star you want to go to, okay? You can even see that in the let me show you really quick. My voice is not in the best shape, also, so that's another thing, but okay, not this. Constellation, planetary system terminal. Okay, this is what we had before. Okay, you were able to travel. Okay, you were able to basically navigate forward in the star field. Okay, and then you stop, and you get presented with a constellation there. Okay. That's the idea. And basically here you will see you can select the star you want to go to, okay? And then you select it and you can see, like, from here you could see the information of each star in the constellation, okay? So then you will hit travel and then you go into that star, okay? That's the animation for going to that planetary system, and then you're in, okay? You're there. Okay. That is what we had before, okay? This is what we had before. And I think I should turn on the lights. Give me 1 second. Okay. So, yeah, that's much better, I think. Anyways, so basically, that's how you travel to another constellation in the starfield. But that was like not really greatly defined, and that's it was like you were in the starfield scene and you could navigate forward infinitely if you wanted, and there was not a lot of control from my side on what the player would do. So now things are much more described as what the player can do, okay, and what the player has to do. Okay, so now to travel into a new constellation, you have to get the coordinates and then input the coordinates in your ship, and then you travel into the new constellation, okay? And that's the thing we are seeing here, okay? That's the new thing. So you travel into the new constellation, you blah blah blah, okay? And you get there, okay? So then you see the constellation, and yeah, that's really slow. I have to fix that. That's it. You see the constellation, and now from here, what I'm thinking is that you see the constellation, and then you go like, and then you there will be some kind of like white flash or something like that, and then you go into the planetary system scene, okay, where you can see your starship. You're in space. You're already here, and you will be in like one of the stars, okay? So yeah, my headphones are really old, and they are falling apart really badly, so I will have to buy new ones at some point. But the thing is, these headphones are like not normal headphones. They are like plain for mastering and stuff, because I also make music. The thing is, if I want to buy new ones, I have to buy like really good ones, like not top tier professional engineering ones. That's not necessary, but just like normal ones for like home studio quality. And those are like, I don't know, here in my country I don't know, you will be paying something like $200 maybe. It's crazy, but yeah. Anyways, back to this. So what I'm doing to show the what's the name? So the constellations, okay, the lines, the connections. I'm basically using this, which is like a, yeah, it's like a cutoff, alpha cutoff, okay. So you can see like it starts, it starts the fading here, because here like it's something that goes from the top of the screen into the bottom of the screen. It's like using the coordinate space of this entire screen. So it's like world space, it's not object space in the shader. So I did it like this because I want every one of this to have the same values, because if I do it in object space, it's going to look weird, I think. So you can see that here, like it goes until like 0.47, and I don't know if that's the case in all of the constellation shapes. Let's see that. So I could change, I could offset that, and that will be fine. Or like a much easier solution would be to just yeah, you can see here, yeah. So in this case it's also 4.7, yeah, it starts there again. So one thing I can do is this, just go here, okay, and for example, go here and you can see that, where's the animation? Here. So show constellation here. I'm showing the constellation, okay? I could basically just divide this by 2, maybe. Also, you know what? I'm not really liking the fading of the stars in the middle. So I might just also move this a little to the right, like this, maybe. Let's just test that. And also this, we can just, you can see here, when it's ending, it's like at 80%, maybe that's 85%, I don't know. So we can just say multiply by 0.8. So this will start like much earlier, okay? And yeah, I think that's, yeah, that would be great. So let's just go here and just let's test this and see how it behaves now. Let's check this. Okay. I also decreased the speed of the animation. I think it's much better now. Okay. Yeah, I think I like it much more now. Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, that's much faster too. Oh, look at this pattern. That's amazing. That's a really interesting one. That's really cool. It looks great. So, yeah, that's amazing. I think that's pretty good. So we can say that's basically done. So now we have this, determine how the player is set to one of the stars in the constellation and travel there automatically. Okay, we're gonna leave this for last. Okay, So let's just move this down. Add a CRT curved effect, chromatic aberration to the starfield scene. We're supposed to be looking at a screen in the starship. Okay. So what's this? Let me show you really quick something. Where is this? Is this sorted by... No, it's not sorted. Okay, this. Starfield 1. Okay. Is it this one? Is it this one? Well, this works. So you can see here, like you see the stars have like a little glow. You can see, like, I don't know if you can notice, but they do have like a little glow. Okay. Then the other thing is that at the borders, okay, there's chromatic aberration, which gives the vintage VHS look, like sci-fi look. I really love that, and I want to use that filter in the entire game. But yeah, that's post processing, which Unity has it already built in, so that's great. And then the other thing is, well, it's really that. It's just that. So that's one thing. I want to add that back into the starfield look. Okay, so here, yeah, you can see here it's much more exaggerated. I think it looks great. Like, it's like aesthetically cool. It looks like a vintage like CRT filter or something like that. So it looks great. It really looks great, but I want to add that again, okay, into this scene. But also what I want to add is like a curved filter, or like, yeah, it's like a shader that curves the screen. So it looks, it would look like we are seeing this through a screen. So my idea is that in the starship, the astronaut has like a screen, but it's like not like an LCD display. It's not like a flat display LCD, like liquid crystal display, like the monitors we have today. It will be like a CRT monitor, okay? So that analogic and vintage vibe, okay? So I want to add that, and I think I can do that. So first of all, I will need to add like a post-processing thing, okay, for the for this effect, which, you know what, I think I have all of this already here. Let me see something, because I think yeah, that object is basically, it has all of the things. Okay, so let's see now. Yeah, I'm so stupid. So yeah, you can see like we have the bloom. That's the effect that makes the stars shine. So that's, oh, this looks so cool. That looks so cool, man. Like, look at the stars in the edges. So I added like a vignette. I also added like this chromatic aberration, which makes it look like with this green, red, and blue offsets of like the color offsets. And yeah, I think this looks amazing. I really like this. One thing I'm thinking is that maybe the bloom is maybe too much. So Yeah, maybe like, yeah. Okay. Okay, this is interesting. I can use this like as a transition because this looks amazing. This looks really cool, man. Yeah, I could use this to make like some sort of transition or anything. That looks so cool, man. So cool. So basically, I would basically, like I said, this was on 0.9. I think threshold is 0.9, maybe 1. Yeah, 0.9 scattering. So this is, yeah, this is basically the thing. Okay. Then you have the intensity. Yeah, I think the intensity should be like yeah, maybe intensity could go like 1.5, and then threshold I could use. Yeah, this looks so cool, man. Yeah, I think that's fine because like what I want to preserve is the colors of the stars, because they have like the white point in the center, but also as like in the sprite you can see like as it goes further out it gets more and more of the color. I could also of course just change the sprite, how it's like the color and all of that. Also, you know what, that's also one of the tasks, star sprite variations on Starfield. So that's another thing. Okay. That's one thing I want to do because I want to have variety on the... So I want to test that, how that looks, because it might not look really cool to have like tons of different star shapes. I don't know. I don't really know. Maybe that looks cool. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But I want to try that, and maybe it does look cool. So I want to do that. And we can also like have different properties of this in the stars depending on which shape it has. That would be something we can do. So yeah, basically this already looks really cool. I think the vignette could go like a bit. So let me just do something really quick. I will just copy this, okay, and just paste it here. And so this is basically a prefab, and yeah, so post-processing. Post-processing unit. Okay. I'm thinking like what it will be best to do if I want to, I don't know, if I want to have like each scene have its own like post-processing configuration, or yeah, I think I want that. Yeah. So I'm thinking, because like maybe I also want this to be in the on planet scene, for example. Let's go there. Planet. So the planet scene. Okay. Let's go here and see how this looks with the post-processing active. So let's just hit play. Oh, maybe everything will break. it worked. Okay. So what happens if I just go here and just activate the post-processing? Okay. Yeah, it's a bit too much. It's a lot. Yeah, I think it's too much. Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to do is basically make this pixel art, because this doesn't really look too good. Like, it looks like a paper that's being like folded. So yeah, I want to fix that. I will add this as a task on planet. So let's just add another task and say foliage sway shader. Okay. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do that exactly, but just having that as a task there is going to be really helpful. So I'm doing this right now, so let's just move it to current. Okay. So yeah, it's like really a lot here, so I think I should have like a different post-processing object for each scene. I think that's going to be the best option. So yeah, let's just remove this. Well, not remove it, but I'm going to copy and paste it here. And yeah, and then I can go here and just remove it, or maybe, yeah, I can just remove it there because I have the prefab. Okay. Then I can go back into the starfield scene, and here I can just basically system post-processing. I can just drag this here, and now we have post-processing again. That's great. So sorry, I'm just doing something I would need to do. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So right here, I think, yeah, and I also think I should have like profiles, different profiles for each scene. So this has a global profile, okay. So let me just rename this and say Starfield profile. Okay, then here I'm going to do the same. I can copy this, okay. I'm not completely sure this is going to be the best way of doing this, but we are going to do this like this right now. So let's hit play and see how we can play with the values. Let's make it look a bit better. Okay, so vignette. I think the vignette is mostly fine. Maybe I can go even like this. 0.3 maybe is better. Yeah, I think 0.3 is better. Yeah, that looks so cool, man. Smoothness, that's fine. 0.1, that's completely fine. I think this looks awesome for the starfield. Maybe for the other scene it doesn't look as good, but for the starfield it's amazing. Um, okay. So, that's so cool. So now, instead of saying this, I'm going to say start build. Yeah, I could even like just remove the name, like instead of global. I may have another post-processing, like another global post-processing thing in the game engine prefab. This prefab is basically a singleton, which is going to be persistent throughout all of the scenes. So I could have like a post-processing there, the object here with like a global configuration for all of the scenes, but I think not all of the scenes are going to have the same configuration. I can, you know what? I'm going to just unpack this here and add things as I need them, because I'm not sure. I will leave it like a prefab, as a prefab right now. You know, I could do prefab variants. That's another thing I could do. Yeah, I think I could do that. But here in post-processing unit, so game engine should have access to the post-processing thing to do the animation. Okay. So then, now what do I need right now? Okay, so basically I need to create where is this? So post-processing, I think I will create it. I will do this here. Okay, I will create a render passes, and here I think I want to create rendering. So Unity 6, which is the version I'm using, has something called full screen shader. Okay, and I think so maybe this shouldn't go there. This should go inside like URP. I'm not sure. Yeah, I would just move this here. Okay, into systems, I have URP, and then here, okay, here, here I have transparency, sort mode, okay, perspective, orthographic, blah blah blah. I'm not sure why it doesn't let me custom access. Okay. Anyways, this is, I don't need to change this. Yeah, this is the thing I was talking about. This is a renderer feature, and this is a full screen pass. Okay, so that's basically what you do to modify the entire screen. So if you want to apply a shader into the entire screen, you can do this. Now everything is white. Okay, so you can see that, yeah, there's like this material which is inverting colors. If I hit play, maybe this is going to look really fun, really interesting, maybe. Yeah, it's not doing... Yeah, it's doing weird stuff. It's so dark, you can't even see what's happening. So going back to here. Okay, let me just go here, and now what I will do, okay, is basically here, instead of using this material, I can basically create a new material. You can even change the injection point, which is at which stage of the rendering steps is going to affect. Okay, so this is after rendering, post-processing, before transparent, before post-processing, after post-processing. Okay, so I think this should go after post-processing, but requirements, everything, depth, normal, color, motion. Okay. Okay. Render scale 0.5. Okay. Anyways, we have render objects. Okay, and this one I'm going to try to, I have a pixelator system, okay, which is basically a camera that looks into a certain layer. Okay, so I have sprites that I can add a script into, and those scripts are basically doing some stuff, which is basically setting the sprite into a position and into a layer that the main camera doesn't see, and then they spawn like a new camera that only looks at that sprite, and then it outputs into a render texture, and that render texture is going to have the resolution, the native resolution of my game, like the original resolution, okay, which is 480 by 270. Okay, that's the pixel resolution of Voyager, and basically that's fine, that's working, that's doing its thing, and you can even see it in the clouds and the planets in the background, in the planet scene. Okay, but that's not the most optimal way for that, for doing pixelation, because for each sprite, like, of course, I'm not instantiating a new camera and a new render texture for each sprite. I'm basically grabbing the layer, like the sorting order of where that sprite should be, okay, and then it basically creates a camera for that sorting layer, okay, and then there are going to be a lot of objects that are in the same plane, so all of those objects will share the same camera and the same render texture, so there will be just one sprite, okay, for those. But like I said, that's not the most optimal way of doing this, so I want to basically try to do the pixelation with a render pass, okay, a renderer feature. So for this, I think I can, because you can see here's a layer mask, so I can basically set the objects that are going to get pixelated will only be in that layer, so in the pixelator layer, okay, and then I basically set a material, a special material for those, which is a shader that will pixelate them, and that's it. I think I could do that this way, and that's going to be much more performant. So yeah, but that's something for later. Right now, what I want to do right now is basically just have like a material, okay, a full screen material, which I can create here in post-processing. For example, I will create a shader, okay, which is going to be URP full screen shader graph, okay, and this is going to be full screen shader, okay. And then here, I will have basically the, what the hell is this? I will create the material, okay, full screen material, and I would use this material for the full screen render pass, okay? Now everything is white, okay? But that's because I think I need to have a main text here. I think this is the thing I need. I hope. Is this? Yeah, this is not. It's not working. Okay. So everything is white basically. Allow material override, blend mode, depth test, depth right, stable, enable, stencil. Okay. So I'm not sure what should be here. So maybe screen color. But yeah, that's not correct. So how do I get the scene, like the screen? Yeah, it's not this. Screen, position, blend, transform, scene, scene depth, camera, object, scene color, scene depth. I was sure this was the correct thing I needed, but it seems like it's not, maybe. So what do I need here? Yeah, that's the problem. I only used this for one thing, and I really have no idea what the hell I'm supposed to set into this, into the color, into the base color of this. I don't really know. Yeah. And this, what happens if I set additive? It's going to do nothing. Okay. Blend mode. If I don't set a blend mode, yeah, I don't really know how to add like the actual scene color on here. I have no idea how to do that. So yeah. But anyways, camera position, direction, near plane, Z buffer sign, scene, screen. So screen is just width and height. Scene, object, scene depth. Maybe it's scene depth. Yeah, but that's just one. So I'm not sure. Let's disable this again and see what happens. Okay, everything is white. Scene color. This is 3. What happens there? So everything is gray. If I hit play, what happens? Yeah, you can't really see anything. Yeah, this is not working. Okay, so scene depth should be the alpha, maybe? I have no idea what I'm doing. That's the issue. Center, tile, pixel. So this is basically doing nothing. Scene, screen, screen blend, screen position, maybe. This doesn't make any sense. Yeah, this is basically coordinate space, so yeah. I believe this is just for like doing depth test, never less equal. Maybe I have to change something there. Depth test, never less equal. Less equal. Greater. Always. Depth right. Okay, so now this is doing nothing basically. Yeah. Yeah, this is doing nothing, so yeah, I don't think I will be able to do what I wanted to do. Maybe I can watch videos of how this works. Let me just search on YouTube, or maybe simple full screen outlines. What's this? Is this new? Seems to be new. Seems like it's new. Okay, let's see.
Which is also the most popular video on this channel, and it will work amazingly if you want to highlight some object. However, it will quickly become cumbersome if you want to add outlines to your entire scene. Therefore, I decided to expand on the topic, so get ready to check out full screen outlines material.
Okay, outline matte. Yeah, it's doing the same thing.
Render feature, select renderer asset. In the inspector, hit add new render feature, select full screen pass render feature. Finally, in the pass material slot, I will assign my outline material. If you think I've gone a bit fast, I have full screen shader introduction video where I've covered all of this in much greater detail. You should check it out. In the shader editor, let's adjust the shader first. Go to graph inspector. In the graph settings tab, set the blend mode to alpha. This is important.
Okay. Please don't tell me this was the thing I was missing. Okay, no.
Because otherwise this alpha block won't work. Now I'm going to create the outlines using scene depth, so I will create scene depth node. Shocker. Then make sure you set the sampling to linear 0, 1. Therefore, the scene depth node will return depth values between 0 and 1. It will return 0 at camera's near clip plane and return 1 at camera's far clip plane. and the values will go from 0 to 1 linearly. If you want a deeper dive at scene depth, I've made an entire video about it, you should definitely check it out. Now if you're saying it is for Godot, I'm really disappointed in you. Just because I've slapped XYZ engine logo on a Game Math Theory episode doesn't mean the concept doesn't exist on other engines. Game Math Theory series, or most of the tutorials on this channel, are platform independent, if you pay attention. Anyway, let me show you what scene depth looks like, so I will feed it into the base color. In the scene, let me adjust the far clip.
Is this going to work in the color? Is that what he did? It's not working.
Okay, so the scene depth will look like this. Now the scene depth node is basically sampling depth texture using the screen UV. Let me just duplicate it. And this time I want to offset screen UV a bit to the left. Therefore I will use tiling and offset node. Set just shift control brightness. Now I want to make it a slider, so I will set the mode 5 into the negative and feed this into, and now I head to the right side. Let's see how this looks in the scene. Use make set the right node and this.
Okay, yeah, but I want to see how it gets back into like
and feed it into base color block. And I have
what?
Now take multiply nodes output and feed graph. Finally, I want to control the color of the outlines. Therefore, I will create a color property. Drag it into the graph. Then I will simply multiply it with step node. I have 9. Now take multiply nodes output and feed it into base color block. And I have nice outline.
What the hell?
And I have nice outlines. Now of course I also want to see the actual scene color along with the outlines. For that, I will take this step nodes output and feed it into the alpha block. This will make my outlines opaque and rest will be transparent, allowing me to see the actual scene.
If I set this to 0, then it should go back. Okay. Okay. So I don't need this, I think. So what I need... Okay. That was interesting. Okay, so what do I need right now? What I wanted to do was basically grab the scene color. Okay. I don't know if it is the scene color. What I want to do is scene color. Okay, so what happens if I go here like that? Okay, and I increase this a little bit. Yeah, but why is it white? If I hit play, what happens? Everything is gray. So this is not going to work, I think, and I do have another solution for this, but like I really want to like grab the vertex. Yeah, like this is basically like adding a thing on top of the screen. So what I want to grab all of the things that are in the screen and just curve them. There's like a spherize function in the shaders, and I could use that, I think. but I'm not sure how, so I will just see.
Finally,
like,
I want
render graph. Where's the video where like okay, so he said he had like a full screen.
I will be using Unity 6, but it will work on older versions just fine, and my project is in URP. My render full my outline material, where I established so I sent between camera's far clip plane, and the values will go from 0 to 1. Definitely check it out. Wanted camera between 0 playing see won't work. Go to it. You should check it out. Video. Well, if you think I've gone a bit fast, I have a full screen shader introduction video where I've covered all of this in much greater detail.
So where's that video? Let's check this guy's channel. So full screen shader. Full screen shader introduction. Easy screen distortion effect using full screen shader. So that's what I want.
Hello everyone, welcome back. For this, I'm using Unity version 2020.
Not this, but like I want to curve the screen.
Also,
so how is he doing this?
Okay, I have created a shader graph and also created and applied the material in our renderer feature. As a result, our scene view has turned into full gray void.
Okay.
In shader graph, we can see that the reason is we have this default color in the base color slot. Let's fix it by creating a scene color node. Scene color node will give us color from our camera's color buffer. In simple words, it will give us color of each pixel our camera is rendering based on this UV. Simply take scene color node's output and feed it into the base color block. And we can see that.
So it's, yeah, that doesn't work. I knew it was this node, but this is not working, bro. So I'm not sure what I should be doing. Let's try the other options: center, tiled, pixel. None of them work. So does he say anything about?
Now we can distort that using these UVs.
So is there anyone saying that? Yeah. Do this in color is not compatible because it uses camera opaque texture and 2D renderer does not write to that. I just figured out how to add a camera sorting texture layer to something like that. Thanks for reply. I love your videos. Camera sorting texture layer. What? What the hell? Yeah, anyways, this is not going to work. I will just try something else. That's it. So I can save this for later, like for other stuff. But for this, I will have to just create like another to do it like another way. So one simple way of doing this would be to UI camera. Okay, so let's just do this, okay, and this is going to I'm just going to say render texture here. So full screen text RT, that's fine. And then here on main camera, I can go and say render texture. Okay, this should be 480 by 270. Okay, and what's happening to this now? What the hell? Okay, let's open the scene again. What the hell, bro? Yeah, this is broken. This should also not be a main camera. And I think I'm going to have to try to use an invalid resource pass render 2D pass. Let's go here and just disable this. Yeah, this is okay. I will have to restart Unity. Okay, give me one moment. This is so dumb. Okay, so now it's fixed. I think camera pack. Okay, perfect. So this camera should look at everything. Okay, I would just remove this and the audio listener too and blah blah blah. Okay. Now, this. Okay, so what's this looking at? This should be looking at black, and then we'll be looking at the thing. Okay. So now I can hit play and okay, let's see what happens now. Okay, this sees the same thing. What's this? Okay. Okay, that's great. Yeah, I think this should also have the same. That's the color? You know what? Yeah, this should be the color, the darkest color of the camera. Let's see how this looks like. What? So let's hit play here. And let's go over here and just start traveling. This may look cooler. This may look cooler, yeah, I think it's yeah, I think so. Why is this like... What? Why is the position offsetted like that? What? Is the camera doing something weird? I don't think it is. So it's correct. So what the hell? It's like everything is offsetted. Maybe it's because of the post-processing. Nope. Positions are like a little bit weird. So why is this the case? This should go like here. That's weird. Oh, you know what? Yeah. You know what? I think this is because I'm calling this much earlier. And the positions are not like defined. Yeah, set connection lines. So stars, and I think, yeah, instead of going into stars positions, instead of going into this, it should go into the target pos. Yeah, that's the, yeah, that's better, I think. That's going to work much better. Okay, yeah, I think this color is... which color did I have before? Was it this one? Yeah, I think this one is much nicer. This really dark purple has a lot more character. So let's grab this. And I think I'm now going to crank a bit up the vignette here because it looks a bit better too. So that's one thing. And then another thing I wanted to do was to modify a little bit the max dist. I think it should be something like 1.4, and center radius should go 0.9. I think that's going to be a better number or both. So let's see how it looks. Okay. So Starfield, well, this is like basically what I was going to do was basically create a material. So where do I create the material? Systems, URP, here, I think. No, not here. Here where I have the full screen RT. Full screen material, full screen shader. This should be disabled here. Yeah, it is. So let's just do this here, and let's do this, and then I can go here and say sample texture, go here, and I think that's going to work. Set the alpha to 1, okay, and now here I basically add this, and I don't know if this is going to work. Yeah, this worked. And camera pack, this, I don't know if that's correct. Maybe the main camera one is not looking at anything. Okay, anyways, let's hit play and see what happens. What the hell? Okay. Oh man. This is not really working, is it? Yeah, this is not working at all. So I'm not going to use this. I'm going to say that I'm going to go here and disable this because it's not doing what I want. And what I will do is go here, create a new shader, which is going to be like a sprite shader, sprite and lit shader. This is going to be let's call it CRT shader. Okay, and then this shader is going to have a main text, which is not going to be used, but then it will have a render RT, just call it RT, that's fine. Sample texture, and then move this here and this here, and that's fine. So now I can create a new material called CRT material, okay, and I can just go here, create a square here in a random spot and set the CRT material to that. And then here I'm going to assign the render texture. Okay, that's perfect. So this should be 4.8 and then 2.7. Okay, so that's basically the size of the screen. Okay, so now that we're here, this is just for testing if this looks cool, because if it doesn't look cool, then there's no point. I'm going to spherize this, okay, and I'm going to expose, sorry, I'm going to say vector 2, center is fine, strength. Just going to call it power because strength is just a complicated word. 1 and 1, and then I have offset, but I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to use the curvature power. Okay, so for that I think we need to basically hit play and just test this. Okay. Yeah, so there are like a lot of gizmos. Yeah, it is curving it. It is curving the texture, but then it does like some weird things in the borders. So what happens? How is it looking here? Okay. But here, yeah, I want to go here and just curve this even more. I think it should be more curved in like vertically. Yeah. Set it to 0 here. Just curve it like. Set it to 0 here. The thing is, this already looks like it's curved because the this doesn't look right because the texture is not. Yeah, this should be point. Now it looks correct. So oh yeah, you know what? I think I set one of the values for the fading of the stars is the other way around. So instead of 1.4, I should put it at 1.6 or 7 even. But let's keep looking at this because it's interesting. If I curve this, yeah, the only weird thing is that, well, what happens if I set this to repeat? Okay. Now we're talking about something that looks interesting. So maybe we can set it to 5 and 5 here. Okay, that looks really interesting. Let's just do this. Okay. Yeah, this is really, really weird. That's like traveling through a black hole or something like that. It's really, really trippy. It's really fun. Yeah. Also, I should move this like really, really far away because it's... We're having like the... Yeah, this looks really, really weird. Yeah. This is really, really trippy, so... I don't know if I will be using this at all. So yeah, worth a try. But we're not going to use that. So yeah, that's it. There's that. Okay, so we are not going to use this. Although, what we are going to do is go here and increase this, because I like, yeah. I basically decreased the value where I should have increased it. So let's try again. Overall, this is looking really cool, and yeah, although that looks weird. Okay, so this looks really, really, really cool. Yeah, this is so cool, man. That's so cool. So cool. I was thinking about like making the stars in the like, but the thing is, let's keep trying to like keep decreasing this until it doesn't look right, and let's see how, where it gets us. Play. Okay, to travel. Oh, I have to fix that. But this, oh man, this animation is really, really cool. Yeah, I think it was fine the way it was before, so I'm just going to leave it at 0.9. That's a great value. And here, that's also cool. So that's cool. That's amazing. Okay. Target alpha, fade curve T. So this is basically target alpha, then alpha. For clarity. And I also think that here I should go, yeah, target alpha should never be 1. Yeah, maybe I should, yeah, anyways, this is just, I'm just fixating on something that's not important. It already looks really cool. What I should be fixing is this. So this is 2 seconds, and this should be immediate. So I should set this to 0. Okay, that's it. let's go here. Okay. And let's see how it looks. Okay, we hit this. Yeah, it appears for like a so maybe if this is false, yeah, maybe this should be if on. It only sets the connection lines if this is on, because otherwise it's going to search for the blah blah. Let's see right now how it looks. Yeah, it's fixed. Okay. So this is how the star field looks. Okay, we're getting into the new constellation. Okay. That's amazing, man. So cool. So cool. Okay. I think that I should maybe lower the intensity even more to 1. I think even 1 is too much. Set it to 0. What happens if I set it to 0? Okay, let's see how it looks like without the bloom. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, it's not bad, but I like how the bloom adds to the aesthetic. So I think I'm going to. The thing is, you know, there's one issue with the bloom, and that is that the bloom is not pixel perfect. So that's basically adding like stuff that's not in the pixel perfect space, and I could make it pixel perfect somehow. I could even like make the stars have like a brightness in like with a sprite, but I think that's not going to look as good. So yeah, this is fine. You know what? Maybe when we are traveling, maybe the bloom should be like much more intense. And then it should go like into 0.5 maybe. Yeah, I think that looks better. Yeah, maybe that's what I need to do. Okay. So that's something I should do for like an animation. Now, another thing, you know what I can do with the full screen material? I could add scan lines, yeah. And that's going to make it look like a CRT. So let's go into the full screen shader. So let's go here and let's enable this again. Okay. And go here into the full screen shader. Now let's create like a checkerboard. Okay. And this is going to have 0 on X, and this is going to be white, and this is going to be black. And we basically, what we need to do is just scroll this. That's it. We have basically we have scan lines, and we also can do something like 5 here, or increase this. So you can see there already looks like scan lines. You can set it to 10, for example, and we can just go here and say time and multiply time by a vector 2, which is basically the speed. So we can just say scan lines, and we can say scan lines speed. Okay, so that's going to be basically that, and that's going to go here, and then this is going to go there. Okay, so this now could be additive, which is, yeah, I think that's, well, which blend modes does this have? Multiply, additive. We can make our own custom scan lines. We can make our own blend modes, but I don't really know much about that. So scan lines size, okay, we can say size is going to be here, so it's 0 and 10. Okay, and that's going to be to go here, and here we can say 1. That's a lot, it's too fast. Okay, maybe that's too slow. Okay, let's see this. Oh, we can also set the alpha of the scan lines. Like, we can just set the color, because right now it's just white, but maybe we can set it to another color, and maybe that looks great. So let's save this. Let's see how it looks. Where am I? Okay. Full screen shader. Let's set it to 1. Okay. And now we don't see a shit. Okay. So, oh yeah, you know what? That's because this should be. I think this should go here. Yeah, that's not correct. What happens if I change this? Yeah, this doesn't do anything. So yeah, the color is one thing, but also I have to say scan lines alpha, and this is going to be a number, a slider that goes from 0 to 1. Okay, and then I have to multiply this by this, and then just go there, and we're good to go. Okay, then okay, this needs to go here. Okay, so is this going to work? Let's go into the material, full screen material. Yeah, this works. So you can see there's our scan lines. Yeah, it doesn't look great. Maybe like that looks better. And I can basically just pick a color. Like, for example, like a light blue, for example, I can use. Yeah, it doesn't work because I'm using the alpha. I think the color of this should go scanlines color. It should go there, I think, yeah. So this is one thing. Okay. And this is another thing. Okay. So yeah, now it looks in the color. Okay, that's too much. Maybe green or maybe yellow. I think blue is fine. Although green is not bad. Let's see how it looks like in play mode. So maybe that's something that looks cool. I think it's not bad. It's maybe a little distracting. So maybe 200 and the speed should be like much slower. So like that. Yeah, that's too weird. 130. It's moving really slowly and that's not great. And maybe the alpha, maybe this needs to be another color. Yeah, that works much better. Much better. Let's go 5 here, maybe. And 100 here. Yeah, so this looks fine, but it doesn't like... Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's cool, yeah. I also think they should have another layer, okay? So they should have another so the size would be like so the color is fine, but the size I think should be multiplied. Here by 0.5, so 0.1 even. Yeah, I think that's better. And this should go here like this. That's much better. 0.2 maybe, that's too much. So 0.2. And we basically add this and this, and now we would basically, instead of setting from here, we set here and here. So okay. So then the UV, it should be like, okay, so that's fine. Maybe it should go, yeah, it should go faster, I think. So we could use another tiling and offset, and then we will grab this and multiply it by 2, I think. And then we would use this here. So we would use that. Okay, and then another thing I would like to do is basically, okay, so I need to move this much farther away. Then this, and this. I need to move all of this much farther, okay? Because I want to do something like, I multiply this by sine. So here, okay, and then this would be here. Does it work? I don't think so. Maybe time itself there. Yeah, that works. So I can just make it go this. And then plug this here. Okay, let's see how it looks. This looks interesting. Let's hit play. Let's see how this looks. The final version. So Starfield, editor, test level, okay. Yeah, I think that looks cool. Maybe that goes too far, like too strong. So maybe I would do something like so the color, okay, maybe I could also multiply the color. Yeah, I don't think it's yeah, you know what? This is going to be white, but I'm just going to divide it by 2. Okay, so let's see how it looks now. Feel a lot. Yeah, it's still too strong. So maybe even lower. Maybe that's a bit better. Let's see. Yeah, that could be a bit better, but I will go even lower. So maybe that's enough. Yeah, I think that's much better. That's so cool, man. That's so cool. Let's go here and test this again. Save. So you're traveling. And you're supposed to be looking at that screen. That's so cool. That's so cool. So now what will happen is something like this. So the bloom will get like yeah, this is not, this would get like really bright. Oh, this is okay, so something like that, maybe lowering this and making this go like brighter and brighter. And yeah, just that would be it. So basically for the transition itself, I would make it so that Okay, let's man, because I really like it like this too, but I think the scan lines add something different. Maybe I need to make them something like 0.001. Is that even visible? It's like just barely visible. So 0.02. Yeah, that's the value I was using, I think. Yeah, that's the correct value, I think. Yeah. Yeah, because what I'm trying to like also maybe this is too close. Yeah, I think I'm going to modify this again. Where's this? 0.7 and this is 0.9. So maybe this should go into 1, or maybe this should go into 1.8. So I think I'm going to do let's try this and see how it looks like. And yeah, so after this we're going to be done with the stream. So let's see this now, how it looks. Let's hit play. I'm really liking this. I really like how it's looking, and yeah, I think the scanlines add like a little thingy that's really cool. Yeah, I think that's a bit better, but maybe I would, yeah, I think I'm just going to increase this again to 1, and that's it. I think that's it. Let's try one more time. And we basically finished this. So let's hit here and go here and watch it again. This looks really cool, man. Really, really cool. Yeah, this is much better, I think. This is much better, I think. Let's do it again. Let's give it a couple tries before finishing. Yeah, I think there's like a lot more of room here in the middle where the constellation is. So that's amazing. And now the idea is that we would basically go, we would have some kind of flash, and then we will go into the planetary system, which would be one of these stars. So in the next stream we're going to basically determine that. We're going to define how we choose a random star, which, yeah, that can be something that we generate in the constellation itself. So we can say, for example, starting star, or like entering star, or something like that. We could also do something like obscuring this. So let me just take a screenshot of this and go into Leonardo, and just grab one color here, and let's say we make this like much transparent like this. Okay. And we start on this one. Okay. So I think that's interesting. Yeah, maybe what we could do is basically just obscure the other stars and just focus on this one, like make the camera focus on this one. And then just like do some kind of effect and travel there. Okay, so I think that's going to be the next thing. That's how we are going to travel into the next. So I'm going to grab this, move it here, and then here I'm going to say travel I think that's going to be the next task. Like we could do this, which would mean we get to do some pixel art, which like since I started the stream, I think there was only one stream where I did pixel art, and I did like just the leaves of a tree. I didn't even made like a complete piece pixel art. And that's fine. That's all of this is part of the development process of the game. So yeah, anyways, I think this should be like the next task, and we should do that. And once we have that, we can go then after and just polish this and make new star sprites and all of that. But for now, I think this is fine. I mean, if we get to finish this, like, I think I will be streaming tomorrow. I'm 90% sure. But let's say we get to finish this in the stream, and we have some time left. We can start like playing around with this. So sorry, that was a really good sneeze. Sorry about it. So anyways, so I think that's it for today, and we can basically end the stream right now. So that's going to be it for today. Thank you very much for coming in, for watching, and don't forget to join the Discord. As always, you can get notifications for when I'm live there, and you can also share your stuff, your art, your games, your music, your anything you want. You can share there. You can even get some feedback. And yeah, so basically that's going to be the stream for today, and I will see you in the next one.